G'day folks, it's Mish here. I'm going out land detecting today, but you can see I'm well and truly not on my own. I've got a bunch of people with me today. Better go in a little bit closer here. We've got Katelyn and Ed from Detect Ed. We've got my husband Al. Oh, we got some random bloke here. Oh, that's the coffee bush kid. All right, cool. All right, so we're all going to go out detecting in the goldfields today, see if we can find some coins and relics, maybe a nice chunky gold nugget, who knows?
Or two.
Or two. Without any further ado, let's grab the gear, let's go hunting. We've all scattered and scampered. We've got a really large area to play in today. I can see coffee bush over that way. I can see the mysterious editor and Ed over there. I've got Katelyn as my detecting buddy. Got Al way over there. You know what I've got? I've got a shotgun shell casing. Ah well, we've found a bunch of these already, but there will be more goodies to find. We've seen little remnants of glass and crockery and the like, so we'll keep going. Well then, it has been a touch on the junky side. We've certainly found our share of shotgun shell ends. I've found a couple of sheets of iron and tin and goodness knows what. We've sort of established that the shotgun shell casings are coming up between about 68 and 73 on the Deus too. So when I get a nice clean 79 signal, I'm led to believe that it might be something different. But there's only one way to find out, so that's what we're going to do. The ground is delightfully soft. We've had some heavy rainfall in the goldfields, perfectly timed if I do say so myself. Which is good because we're sharing digging tools and pinpointers and goodness knows what else today. Bit of a collective effort. Not be quite there yet. Let's have a check. Oh no, I've flicked it out here somewhere. There we are. Oh, do I have a button? I do. I've got my first button for the day. Thanks. Thank you. It has a name on it and it says Excelsior. It's an Excelsior 4-hole button.
Sounds fancy.
It does sound a little bit fancy, doesn't it? Very nice. Well, we'll probably file this one in the something different, folks. I came across a signal here and it was on the lower end. Reading a 49 on the Deus. So quite a low conductive target. I've pulled out this. Now as far as I can tell, this is the old cap of a tube of some sort, a dispensing sort of tube. Maybe steel. It's very shiny. Oh, very shiny indeed. Maybe it's something a little bit more fancy than steel. Maybe it's silver, although that's ringing low. But still, it's something I'm not going to just toss away. That is a very curious little piece. Not sure what to make of that one. We'll pop it in the bag. Maybe Coffee Bush might have more ideas as to what they may be. And we'll keep going. Well, this is very interesting indeed. I'm not far from the last target I had a go at. I've noticed there's a few little scratchings around here. Now they're so shallow that they could just be animal scratchings. Some scratchings of my own over there, of course. But I've come across this one here. Now the reason why I looked down at this particular one is I did get a signal just before it. A low signal. Might be good, might not be. We did get that silvery looking thing at a similar number, so I will dig it. But I'm actually more interested in what I can see here. So let's just have a little crouch down here and you can see what I see. Maybe someone's checked this out already, but I don't know about you. That certainly looks like the corner of a square glass bottle to me. So I've got my fingers super tightly crossed that that is an intact bottle. It's not far from the surface at all. Ooh, fingers crossed. All right, I'll see if I can gently extract that. Then we might worry about that other signal. Just pop in the digger a little bit earlier. Not really going to pry against it, but just going to loosen the soil around. I can already see that whole mound moving. Let's reach in. Oh, looks like it's broken. Yep, it's just the bottom. What a shame. Imagine if that were in one piece. Is the rest in there? No, it doesn't look like it. We might get some writing on the bottom though. There is something written there. And I think that's going to go in the pouch so I can work it out later. Maybe give you guys a little bit of history as well. Interesting. And as for that small signal that was nearby, well, I don't know. It's a piece of scrap, but it's ornate looking scrap. It actually has a print and a design. We'll pop it in the bag, and again, we'll have a careful look at that one too. Maybe even just a photo. Could remain a mystery item. Feel free to pop in some guesses. But potentially part of some jewellery or the like. Very cool. Ooh, I'm having a bit of a chuckle over this one, guys. I had a scattered 63, 64 signal. Kind of started over here, ended over here somewhere. Just enough to make me want to check it out. Now I'm having a good roar of laughter over the first one because I've gone and pulled out a 10-cent piece. So that's certainly not left by the old timers. But we're on the board with a coin, aren't we? There is still another signal down here. Now, whether it's still that same tone, I don't know. It's further down though, so I don't anticipate it will be a modern coin. Let me just have a bit of a scratch here and see what we're listening to. Oh, yep. So again, 63, 64. So that's why it sounded like one long signal. Wouldn't it be funny to get the same signal and targets that are 150 years apart in age? What have we got? Oh, it is another coin. No, not 150 years old. Maybe about 10. That's a second 10-cent piece, my friends. We're onto a coin spill. And normally, if I was park detecting, that would be a pretty good thing. But let's try for something a little bit older today. Well, my friends, we're playing around in the gully, and the gully can tell us a little bit about the history of the place. Well, firstly, there's 1,000,001 gold workings here, there and everywhere. But this particular area is interesting, and the reason why this is interesting is I'm seeing these massive old tree bases. There's another one over there. But you can see at some point this tree has been cut down. Quite some time ago, one would say. Now, whether that's the same tree or another offshoot, I'm not sure. But we're certainly seeing the evidence that, in conjunction with that this was a populated area. And in having a look at this beautiful old tree, which is very, very tall nowadays, my goodness, we've actually come across a surface find. Can you see it yet? I certainly wasn't going to not see it. It is huge. That appears to be a harmonica reed, but my goodness, that is the largest harmonica reed I have ever found in my life. Wow. Now, I'd say this has been through a fire. You can actually see that this stump has been as well. It's a little bit charred on the inside. So maybe this was somewhere near the surface when the fire ripped through, because it does look a little bit fire-worn. Wow. I think that one might have to be cleaned up for my display, because that is a beautiful piece. Let's see what else we get. Well, here we have another 6364 signal. Wouldn't it be hilarious if we got another 10-cent piece? Well, it'd be frustrating, but it would be funny at the same time. However, I'm getting hints of 65 here. That kind of starts pulling it out of that 10-cent zone. It is a nice sounding signal. Let's work it out. This one played a little hard to get, but we've got it in... Oh, we had it in the clump. It's fallen out of the clump. Oh my goodness, it's another shotgun shell casing. Bit of quartz in there as well. That looks well old. Still not what we're after. Well, I had a junky signal here and I've pulled out half of a harmonica reed, but I'm going to use this as an example to make a comparison here. So this is the reed I found, and this is what I'd call a fairly standard size reed. It would come out to about here or so about twice the length it is now. That's a big old difference. It'd probably come to about here. Yeah, that is unreal. I love this piece, but anyway, there's probably some people going, oh my god, Mish, that's just junk. I don't know. Do you guys like harmonica reeds? Leave me a comment. Well, what's your favourite kind of find that some people would consider junk, but you absolutely love finding in the ground? I'd really love to know. Alright, Elle's gone and found something over here. What you got? Oh, I know exactly what you've got.
Old purse by the look of it.
Yeah, exactly right. Top of an old coin purse. So obviously the contents have gone away. I'd be checking just in case for coins and whatnot, but what a beautiful piece. You can still see the mechanism for opening and closing. That was an iron pin, so that's rusting away. The other one's barely hanging on for dear life, but my goodness, that is cool. Well done.
Very, very nice find. If it was silver on the links,
That'd be stamped with that.
they would be stamped.
Each one?
Each single link would
Wow.
be stamped.
Thank you.
So, but no, that's good. I put that as a value of
At auction.
yeah, at auction,
Well folks, have I got a story to tell. We changed location, had lunch and came back to a slightly different spot. You can see I've barely moved from the vehicle. Everyone's already scratching away. I can see a wild Katelyn on the other side of the coffee bush. I can see Ed over in the distance and he's found something. Wire? Glasses! Wow. Okay. We got coffee bush over in the distance. Hal over there somewhere. And yeah, I needed to recreate this scenario a little bit because, as I say, barely at the vehicle, turned on the detector, got a cracking signal with my very first swing, and then I've looked down and I've realised I actually have a surface find. So, barely out of the car and I've already got a button at this site. Now, doesn't look like there's anything special about this button. I can't see any writing or the like. But that bodes pretty well for this spot, don't you think? Well, there's a couple of things going on here. It's finding signals up there, but you're probably not looking at him at the moment. You're probably looking at what's at my feet. That, my friends, is a pretty decent vertical mine shaft. Very wide cut opening, actually. Normally they're a lot narrower than this out in the bush, and a lot of people have chucked their junk down in the bottom. I'm not going to stand any closer than that. But that is pretty darn cool. That is one Ed for scale. I don't think I'd want to be making a misstep. Very cool. Well folks, when you're out in the goldfields, you've really got to dig a wide range of targets. It's not like hunting parks where you might just cherry pick the high signals, because really any relic can come in at any number. Now I got a particularly low number on this occasion. I'll let you have a listen as well. It's now ringing up about a 41 to 44. It was ringing in the high 30s initially. And it took me a little bit of scratching to find it because it's quite little. But here we have our target. And I'd say once upon a time this was a button. It's a little bit damaged. But there's a lovely little design on the front. I think it'll need a bit of a clean up. In fact, you know what? That might not even be a button. It might be a wheel of a toy car, potentially. Oh, it is falling apart a little bit, so I'm going to be very careful and pop that away for now. But that's a cute little find. Alright, another signal nearby my other signals, and I'm actually wondering whether that tiny little button I found before was in fact a wheel, because this actually looks like it could be part of a matching set. So again, a bit of iron on the back. It's either been a fastener for a button or maybe an axle or something like that. But I've just gotten out my little finds pouch. This is the one you saw me find before. So they are more or less the same size. Very interesting. We could be onto a set. That's so cool. Well folks, we're almost calling time on this adventure. We are back near the car. There is actually an old house site here thereabouts. Hello! There's bricks and whatnot. I found a few junky signals, but nothing special to report. And you might realise that I'm sitting in a rather sort of depressed area. I'm not depressed, don't worry, the ground is. We can kind of work out, based on how dark the soil is here and how squishy it is compared to up there, that we might be in someone's old dam or pond or basically private water source for their homestead. Now it's quite amusing because clearly they've come down from the house and they've been sitting on the edge. They may have been drinking one or two things and then throwing their bottles in the water when they were done. So plenty of beer bottles, liquor bottles, all broken up in among what would have been the dam bed. Might even see if we can work out what one of these is. I did see a little bit of writing. NOUS is all I'm getting off that. Is there something up the top here? This is the property of, I would say, something something. NOUS. Is it part of that bottle? Maybe not. All a bit of a jigsaw puzzle. I don't think we're going to work that one out today. But still, sometimes the treasures aren't what you find with the metal detector. It's the places it takes you.
It's like second fiddle, really, isn't it?
Blooper.
Keep saying stuff, yeah. Well guys, that's it. We are calling it a day. We didn't find too much at the second site, but we've had a really good day out, and the fun is always just getting out and about with mates, and I think this is probably my record for the most amount of mates I've gone out detecting with. So I guess just briefly, what's one cool thing you found today?
A couple of buttons.
Civil War buckley thing.
Bloody show off.
Potentially a part of a gun.
Yeah, and the Britannia penny, yeah.
So that's a pretty awesome variety of stuff, guys. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget the like button. But in the meantime, take care, stay safe, and we'll catch you on our next adventures. Cheers.